Hey guys, it's your girl Queen G here from the Chop Shop Podcast. Over here to my right, we have
TJ Jewels
and to the
DJ
left.
Nesto. What's up, you guys?
How you guys doing? We're here on season 2 of the Chop Shop.
First episode of season 2.
Yes.
We made it to the finish line in season 1. We made it.
1 year down, 1 year down.
Oh man, dang, we're still in the baby years.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Damn, bro.
It's all right. At least we got this far, though.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we
Hell
couldn't
yeah.
do it without each other, so.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Here we are.
that's right.
Team players. So today we have a special guest all the way from Victorville, California.
Damn, Victorville.
Not only is she an actress, she's a hustler, she's a promoter, a marketer. In Spanish it's called milusos, many hats.
Hey, radio host,
Yes.
TV host, the whole. What is she? That's a quadruple threat.
I
That's a
know.
quadruple threat.
What isn't she in?
She's hosting our show and she didn't even know.
Exactly. And she'll be the special guest at the Back in the Day.
Yeah, the back in the day,
June
back in the day
28th.
show.
Yes,
Yeah,
Back in the Day
Show.
show.
that one's going down. That one's going down.
That's
Who we
right.
got? Who we got?
Who do we got? So we got over here to my left. Let's give her a big round of applause, Mirna Velasco.
Hey, we've been wanting to get you on this show since day one.
Yes.
Huh? Remember, we're like, gotta get her on here, man. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for not giving up on me.
Of course not.
Hey, East LA in the house or what?
Huevo.
That's
Damn,
East Los. What's up?
East Los in the house.
That's
Damn,
right.
That's what's
That's
up.
right.
Yes.
So who is Mirna Velasco?
Who is Mirna Velasco? Well, I heard you guys did your homework. You guys tell me.
Woo!
I heard you did your homework.
I did a little bit. I did a little bit.
Chingón.
I didn't do good in school though, so I don't know how to do my report. My book report's very good. You know what I'm saying? No, but you know what? Okay, I just got to say this. Look it, because I've been getting into radio lately, personality and hosting and stuff. So I study a lot of people. Okay, I just been studying, and I've been studying you for a while. And I'm like, yo, she is dope. Like you're very seasoned. You could tell that you are very on point. Yeah, versatile. You know what I'm saying? So you do all these things. What was the first thing that you tackled in the entertainment business?
The first thing that I tackled, a lot of people see me now in front of the camera. I used to work behind the camera. I never wanted to be part of the limelight. I didn't want to be part of the fame. I ran from it. Knowing that two parents have all this money, have all this power, and yet they couldn't raise their child. Yet they kept giving away their kids. And I said, you know what? That's not for me. And I would see, I was born and raised in East LA. I was so close to Hollywood. So I've always worked in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I used to be a nightclub promoter since I was a kid. I was throwing ditching parties when I was a little girl. I was making the flyers, the posters. Like
Senior
that's my
ditch
thing.
day every day.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I never liked I seen all of the drugs, and I mean you guys seen what's going on with P. Diddy's case. All that stuff is real. So I never wanted to be part of that. So to me, I've always been there, but behind the scenes.
Okay.
So I would make the sets. I would write the scripts. I've always been part of that. And I'm a medium, trying to get into a small, to celebrities. So I talk to the dead.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've always had my foot in the door. I could be anywhere. I used to be a filler also. They used to put me in every Oscars, every Grammys. I get free tickets to anything because I read them. I talk to, they say your son passed away. I talk to your son. I convey messages back and forth. And for that, and plus, I've been on radio for 11 years because I work with a doctor called Dr. Joe Wallach, that he actually has studied the human body for over 50 years. And he says, which is true, it's been proven, that the human body, the way it was made, it could actually heal itself, but with natural products. So I learned about 90 essential nutrients and minerals and vitamins. And so if I can cure your daughter from having cancer, if I could talk to your mother that passed away, what wouldn't you do for me? So I've always had access to Hollywood. Not only am I a millionaire because I won the lottery many times, but because my worth, because of what the gift that God's given me.
Yeah. See,
So-
that's what I'm saying. Like we've had a lot of people on the show already. You know, we're on season 2, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have one of the most interesting stories I think I've ever heard. I'm not even lying. I'm not even saying that,
you.
just gassing you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to start off with your very, very beginning on who your parents are. Because people, do you know who?
We already know.
Yeah, like
India Maria.
Yes.
Yeah, you come from like iconic, legendary,
real
parents.
legendary
But like you
parents.
said, they gave you away, right? Your mom gave you away. What
My
was the
mother,
story?
my mother, sorry to interrupt. My mother gave me away. Back in 1969, I mean 89 when I was born.
Hey.
To young guys, it's 89.
Hey!
Drink to that one. So back in 1969, my dad launched a show which was like people say, like the first Star Search.
Yes.
The first American's Got Talent. It's called Always on Sunday. Siempre en Domingo.
Siempre Domingo.
Always on
Yes.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Legendary.
So that's 1969. So my mother was an India Maria. She used to be a dancer, but she was short and brown. And back then, they actually would put brown people down.
Yeah.
And so my mother never really made it until one day a producer said, you know what? He was drunk. You know what, you little Indian? Why don't you just pack your stuff and go get on a donkey and get out of here? My mother embraced that. And she went and got a donkey, named him Filimon,
Yeah, Pelimon.
went to Mexico City and
Crazy,
learned from indigenous women on the street. Those women that wrap their babies around their back and have the pan and sell that. And so my mother embraced that and became and reinvented herself as La India Maria. Because she was always trying to be sexy, and she was, and they're like, you know, you're not cutting. You're too short and brown. And she was gorgeous, my mother.
Story of
I'm
my
sorry,
life.
And I mean, I kind of consider your mom like also, you know, the acts that she did was like almost kind of like comedian, kind of in a way.
Yeah. My mother was very smart. She would make, they always made fun of her. So she got really smart and she started making fun of herself.
Of course, that's the way
Before
to go.
you do it. So she'll call herself
Yeah. I beat
dumb,
you
dumb, but
before.
not that dumb. Tonta, tonta, pero no tanto. Like she embraced that. And that when you actually, and that's one thing that we should learn from, once you, no one has changed the world trying to be like no one else. No. Everyone has a fingerprint.
Yes.
No one else has your fingerprint. So when you start and you embrace who you really are, and that's what I did for a long time, till my son passed away, is when I learned how to just embrace who I am, and I came out in the public.
Yeah.
Because before that, I didn't want people to know who I was.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything to do with Velasco's or
And Maria.
my kids don't even speak Spanish, and I'm like a little chuntis, you know.
Yeah, you weren't asking for money or
Nothing.
ever, right?
I never, people say, well, all the years that you had all these kids, why didn't you go and look for your mom and dad? Well, because they gave me away.
Yeah.
We could go beg them. I've never been to Mexico. I'll probably just on
Yeah.
vacation. So how am I going to go look for these two iconic people?
Exactly.
I just went on my own when I was 14 and I raised basically myself.
Is that when
Yeah.
you found out who they were at that age?
When I was 14 years old, I found out who I was.
Okay.
Now, you don't have to get into this, but you know, did it give you away because of the whole job thing, or?
Well, my father was married to the love of his life. My mother was married to a very handsome Russian. And so they were having an affair. But it was the time when they were launching their career, 1969. So can you imagine when I came out with it 6 years ago, it was like a really big story everywhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine back 55 years ago, it would have ruined their career.
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
get that. I get that. They asked me, a reporter asked me one time, Javier Sarani on Cheeseman Alike asked me, look at the camera, Mirna, and if your mom was here, what would you tell her? And I didn't even think about it. It just came out natural, you guys. I just said, thank you for not having an abortion.
Yeah.
Who am I? I'm not God. Who am I to judge,
Yeah.
you know? If a woman chooses to have an abortion or they have a miscarriage or whatever,
Especially at
go
those
with
times.
Exactly.
There was a lot going on at those
especially-
times.
Yeah, it was hard. It was rough
For
times
women,
back then.
man, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's crazy. So that explains a lot of your star quality because you come from that. Because like you said, your father, that show was like kind of like the TRL,
Iconic.
like the American Bandstand.
Exactly.
Before that, you know what I mean? Because like
It set it off.
Legends
Yeah.
were on that show,
It
bro.
set it off. It set it off.
Selena would be on there. Like who else? Like
Los Panchos, I know you guys
Yeah.
don't know, but you
Donna
know,
Summer, Metallica,
Yeah.
Luis Miguel, El Sol
yeah,
de
or even
Mexico.
like
Maybe
the,
Vicente was on
like
there.
Menudo,
Menudo,
Ricky
Chamos,
Martin, and all them
yeah,
would be
started-
on there.
Yeah, a lot of artists were on there.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Now, where do you get your inspiration to do what you do, like entertainment in the business?
I've always, being married, they've always told me, don't you ever shut up. I always thought something was wrong. I'm a payasa. I'm a natural payasa, and I never knew why, but it's in my blood.
Exactly.
I never shut up. I even have insomnia. I can't even sleep. I'm always thinking. I laugh at myself. I put 2 chongos like chilindrina in my room. I'm serious. I'm just, I'm a payasa. And I think it just comes from my family. Yeah, it's in my blood.
Yeah.
Just to be a clown.
Wow. That's so dope. Yeah, when I was doing like my research on you, I was just like stuck. I was just like, damn, like you got so much to add on to it. And then like I've heard you even say that you have 8 kids total?
8 kids.
8 kids.
I would have had 13. I was pregnant 13 times.
Wow. Okay.
I like to do laundry. That's what's up.
She likes to cook.
Oh yeah.
Food.
Fold all the toallas and everything. You know what I'm saying? No, but
Diapers, huh? Changing diapers, huh? That's what you like to do, huh?
world record. Hey, when I had my twins, because I have twin boys, and then, so I got really good at changing diapers real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I would time it. I would try to race my wife. You know what I'm saying? You get that baby, I get this one ready. Go. Boom. Throw them in the trash. Everything like, what's happening? What's up? You know what I'm saying? No, that's what's up. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because and you said that your a son passed away. Is that
6
right?
years ago.
Rest in peace.
Yes, thank you. He was 26 years young.
Oh, wow.
In Japan.
Okay.
He was a Marine.
Oh
wow.
Yeah,
Really?
that's when I decided to come out and tell the truth about who I was.
Why is that? Just for
Well, my son was married to, okay, I'm going to say it, to a white girl, beautiful white girl. He's brown, little Mexican, both a Marine. And I feel my son was married to the love of his life, first wife. Then he was a big flirt. I don't know where he got that from. And he started sleeping around with one of the girls he was training. And she ended up,
training.
He was a Marine.
In the service.
In the service. He was a Marine in Camp Pendleton. His lover ended up being pregnant. So she gave him an ultimatum and told him, if you don't divorce your wife, I'm gonna have an abortion. Ooh. My son called me. I go, son, look, you made your bed. Whatever you choose, I will support you. Yeah. I don't want to see a dead baby, and I don't want you divorced. So I helped him. I got him divorced. Took them to Vegas, him and his lover, and they got married. A year passed by. The baby was born. Then my son called me and said, Mom, I'm not going to be a Marine no more. I go, wait a minute. What about your wife? You're higher ranked than she is. He's like, she's going to stay being a Marine. I go, that's odd. I couldn't say anything because I was on the phone and I know she was always listening. So I was going to, so my son stopped being a Marine. 6 months later, he calls me again. He goes, Mom, I'm going to Japan. I go, oh, you're going to go visit Japan? No, Mom. My wife put in orders to go to Japan. I go, son, she's white, you're Mexican, your new father, your new parents, why are you going to Okinawa, Japan for 3 years? I think it was already planned. Plan con maña, we say.
Yeah.
Because 6 weeks later, she set him up for him to go snorkeling. I feel, as a mom, I feel that she found out that he was going back with the love of his life. Yeah. That's why he made him quit being a Marine and just stay at home to watch the baby. And so 6 weeks later, after being in Okinawa, Japan, she set him up to go snorkeling. But why did she take his wedding ring and his wallet, which of course Raiders, that I bought his, I bought his ring and his wallet. She took it off and she backed off from going. And my son washed ashore. There was, that day, there was warnings of high tides. You weren't supposed to go in the water. He actually went with the Marine that she set him up, a mutual friend of hers.
Wow.
So then the guy came out without a scratch. She got $400,000 from my dead son's body.
Oh, man.
Okay?
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So it's like, when you know.
Money grab.
As a parent, tú sabes, something's not right.
Yeah.
So I thought it long and hard. 2 weeks later, after he crossed over, because we don't die, we transition. And he came to me, and I felt him, like, when you're asleep, you feel someone walking in your house or your room.
Like a presence.
I felt my son walk in the room, crawl on my bed, and sit right in the middle, and my blanket started going, like, rolling down. And I was like, and I sat up, and I was like, I woke up, and I was like, it was like smoke in my bed. And it was my son. And he was trying to talk to me, but he couldn't talk to me. I said, son, you don't have a body anymore, honey. Just think. I'll read your mind. Just think. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And so he just centered, and then it was like I was talking to him like flesh and blood.
Really?
It was great. It was the most beautiful, craziest thing I have ever experienced. And I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And so I said, son, he was smiling. He looked so happy. That tells me now that he was going through a lot.
Yeah.
But because mommy has a big mouth and heavy players, heavy people, he didn't tell me what was going on with his wife.
Exactly.
You know, he was going through a lot. So I said, son, I have 2 questions before you leave. I go, first, is there a God? Am I being a good girl for nothing? And he starts to laugh. Exactly, starts to laugh. He goes, Mom, you have no idea what's in your future. And I was like, okay. And he started disappearing. I go, wait, I have another question, son. One more. Were you murdered? He looked at me, goes, you know I was, Mom. Boom, disappeared.
Whoa.
I thought long and hard for months and months, and I sat my kids down. I said, you know what?
goosebumps right now.
Crazy. Yeah. I sat all my kids down. I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to be open, and I'm going to tell the world who I am. They're like, Mom, you're going to let them know? They're going to kill us. You know, oh my God, that's crazy. You can't let people know. We live here in Victorville. And I was like, yeah, I want people to know because I'm going to open up the case. Because right away, he got buried. It was over and done with. Knowing that there's something that I feel something was wrong, something is off. You know, when you know, you know.
When you're a
Exactly.
parent, you know
Yeah.
what's going on.
But if you're a mother, we're not Mexicana, divorced 4 times with kids, are they going to listen to a white Marine
Exactly.
or this little Mexican? So that's how my mentality, that's where I was at the moment. And so I said, I'm going to become very powerful. I'm going to meet the presidents, which I have. I'm going to get awards from presidents, from mayors. I'm going to get every politician, famous people involved on my corner. So when this little Mexican mom goes and opens up the case
it's all
to
that
see,
backup.
to see what really happened, what really is going on, then I'll have a voice. I was trying to build a voice.
So you manifest.
Yes, I do. I manifested that. And in the process of doing that, people are like, big time people, politicians and people in Hollywood are like, you know what? De Mexico, the presidents, everyone's like, you know what, Mirna, when they hear my story, Mirna, what can we do for you? So here I am hosting this event with Los Premios Cristianos, and I'm in Puebla, and I'm in Mexico, and I'm with Donald Trump and President Biden. It was just crazy. Like just everything just happened so fast. Like I haven't had time to actually sit down
And process
it. Because it's like my phone's always blowing up with amazing things, amazing opportunities. I'm filming my show. I did already 4 episodes. Like my hairline, just so much.
Yeah, you're a hustler.
Like that's-
I actually met you maybe about 2 years ago. First time I met you. And I remember you told me that you are filming a documentary.
Yes.
Is that still in the works?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what is that? Is that just a documentary or just about your full life and all that?
Well,
about your parents and
I
everything?
finally got, with all the interviews that I got, every time I do an interview on Spanish stations, I get millions of people watching it. My family came out. So my mom's side of the family came out and got a hold of me and told me, we always knew about you.
Reached out to you, huh?
Yeah. And then my dad's side of the family, I love them all, but I felt really weird around them.
Yeah.
I went to go meet Pablo Velasco, which is my father's grandson, from my brother Raul. I went to the Ciudad de Mexico during COVID to meet him, and I felt very uncomfortable, like demonic.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he wanted me to get me and my investors to put in $5.6 million to reinvent Siempre en Domingo, por siempre.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't want to do it. And then he just went against me.
Oh, wow.
Because all he wanted was money.
said,
Exactly.
all right.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I want to give in. All right.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
first said about the documentary and I started researching, I was like, man, that's a hell of a documentary.
Yeah.
Because you got all kinds of stuff in there. You know what I mean? Like you said, I know you said your son passed away, and then you also had another child that had autism?
2 with autism, 1 with mental retardation, and my daughter who fought cancer.
Okay, she
Yeah,
fought
she had
cancer.
Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 3 at 17.
So
wow.
how is it for you? How do you juggle all that? And then, with your kids and your career right now, how easy is it, or how hard is it for you to juggle all that in between? How do you make time for family and then what you do now?
I am one of the most hyper women on the planet. Even though I'm 55, going through menopause, I'm on it. Like, I don't think about it. I think fear, you can point at fear. You can point at depression. Everything exists between your ears. It's what you think about. 65,000 thoughts we have every single day. When you learn how to control it. Because everything from this microphone to this couch to this camera to this computer to your hat that you guys are wearing to our lipsticks, was once thought by a person. So once you think about it, it's actually something magnetic. Once you say it, you put it forward and you can never take it back. So to me, I had to learn how to control my thoughts. I don't think about being overwhelmed because you overwhelm yourself. Oh my God, I have to take this one to the dentist, that one to the doctor, that one to school, that one to high school, that one to preschool. Oh yeah, you go crazy. I don't think about it. I just do it. I write down what I have to do every day and I just go do it. And that's it. It's not easy, but it's doable.
Yeah.
I'm living proof of it.
Yeah.
And I would assume too that, you know, your kids and what they have been through motivates you too, right? To keep pushing
Yes.
and to keep, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You guys are a strong family. That's what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying?
All of my children, all 8 kids have my last name Velasco. I'm double Velasco. I was married 4 times and I never changed my last name. My father was Velasco and my mother's father, my grandfather, Tomas Velasco, is Velasco.
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm
crazy.
double Velasco.
Yeah.
So when reporters did all their homework, like, holy shit, you really are
Yeah.
Velasco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And my kids, I have amazing kids. I have an attorney son. My son, rest in peace, was a Marine. I have 2 that are teachers. I have one that's an artist. The little one is a motivational speaker. She looks like the Mexican Brooke Shields. That's why I homeschool her. She's a little too pretty.
Hey, that's smart.
Yeah. So
smart.
I've been very blessed. My kids, man, keep me on my toes.
I think I heard you say one time that one of your sons worked for Nintendo?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
He's an attorney for Nintendo.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's
My
what's
oldest,
up.
38.
Okay.
I'm 28, but yeah, I
See,
know.
you
I'm
guys-
really bad at
your
math.
guys'
I'm
age.
really bad at math.
Yeah, he's our age.
That's what's up. We're not going to reveal nobody's age today in this episode.
Hey, that's cool.
38, yeah.
No, that's super tight, man. Yeah. So yeah,
You guys grew up on Barney, huh?
yeah, low key. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I really never watched it, but
No, mine was like Muppet Babies. You know what I'm saying? Power Rangers. Power Rangers.
And the Power Rangers.
What's up?
yeah.
What's up? No. That's what's up. No, like, yeah, I like following all your stuff because you're always busy. And that's what this show represents. It always represents people who are hustling, who are motivated, and all that stuff, and who have a good story.
Yes.
You know, you always hear the saying, like, you have a better chance getting struck by lightning twice before you win the lotto.
I know.
You ever heard
you
that?
haven't, huh?
You won it
Twice.
2 times.
Twice.
How does
Well,
that?
3 times, but one was really small. But
What?
yeah.
Hey, but it counts though. What are you talking about?
How does that happen? Like, so what was the first time that happened?
It was Christmas Day, 2009. On Christmas Day, I was pregnant with my 8th baby, my little Mia. And I had just divorced. And I bought something, told me to buy a quick pick. I didn't want to have a party for Christmas. I was embarrassed that I was divorced and pregnant. And so the lady that raised me, she had separated from her man. And so she was losing her place. So I go, you know what? I'm going to give her my RV to live in. So I went to CVS Pharmacy to buy makeup and put the pink slip in there and surprise her because I like to surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was negative in the bank $1 at the time. Negative $1.
Dang.
Yeah. Because my husband wasn't working. Well, my ex-husband wasn't working. He had got hurt at work. And so I went and the first time I seen the machine at CVS Pharmacy in the Spirit, and I'm like, what is this? I never seen a lotto machine.
A lot of machine.
It was brand new. And until this day, I don't know how the dollar got in my pocket. That something whispered in my ear and said, buy a quick pick. And I went up to the machine. I don't know what I was doing. I put the dollar in there. I don't know what I pressed. And I put that away. A couple of days later, I went to the gas station and we're putting gas in my Hummer. It takes forever because it's a Hummer. And I went in to check the ticket.
Yeah, and that little
I went to go check it, and
yeah.
it said, congratulations, winner of 477-101.
Amazing.
I was like, did I win? Am I won and have
Yeah,
to
you're like,
won a
hold up.
toaster? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So then I went, I got in line. I'm here pregnant. And I looked at the girl on the counter and I gave her the ticket and I said, I think I won $500,000. Can you check the ticket? And everyone in line was laughing behind me.
They're like,
and I felt so,
this lady is crazy.
So dumb. I go, oh my goodness. Everything after that went in slow motion. It wasn't like the girl turned around, she put the ticket, and once it wins, it shoots another one back, right?
Yeah, it
Shoots
goes
another
back.
one. So it happened. It went like that. And then she turned around, and she was prieta, but she was pitch white. She turned around, and I thought I didn't sign it. She's gonna jump and run. She's gonna take off with my ticket. Like all these things run through your head. It's crazy. Wow. So then she gives me. She goes, "Yes, you're a winner. You won." And so she Slow motion, I get the ticket and walk right here in the
In the pocket.
in the pocket.
In the
Mexican
pocket.
pocket.
You say, here
Yeah.
it comes.
In the
the-
Mexican pocket.
And then I go, what do I do? And she goes, she goes, you could send it in. I go, no.
She's like, don't tell
I go, she
nobody
goes-
you won.
Yeah, she goes, go. It was like Willy Wonka when he had the little ticket, little
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
It's like, go
I gotta
when you
go
bought
the
it.
ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Were you there? I put two chokers and I was dancing.
I seen you running.
So she's like, just go where you want. And so I went to CVS pharmacy, right? And I was still in disbelief.
Yeah.
You're like, no
your
way.
Your body goes into shock.
Oh, hell
It
yeah.
is the crazy thing.
It goes
I
numb.
was crying and I was shaking at the same time. And I walked into CVS in Hesperia and I looked at the girl, the cashier, and I said, is the manager here? And she goes, why? Are you the one that won the lottery Christmas Day? And that's when it connected. Because
Boom.
they're informed that there's a winner.
Of course.
Already.
You know? Yeah,
Already.
and it was
Yeah,
only 3 days I had passed
So they
by.
were waiting for you.
They were
Yeah.
waiting
They
for
knew
me.
you were coming.
Dude, they took a picture of me and it was there for a couple of years.
Yeah,
Really?
on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
it was
that is
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
So did you
Yeah.
take a lump sum or did you take payments?
When it's under $1 million, they just give it to you.
Nice.
When it's over $1 million, you get the choice. You get to choose whether you want lump sum or you want it in payments.
But they tax you though, right?
Well, I won $477,101. They gave me $356. What they do, because it comes in a state check, a little check in the mail,
Yeah.
like nothing. Okay, they check, do you owe child support?
They'll take.
Do you
They'll
owe
deduct.
your comadre?
They'll deduct
Yeah.
all that.
Do you owe any books in the library?
Damn.
Any tickets? Anything in the court?
They'll
They
de-
check everything.
they'll deduct all that off of there.
Everything. They sent me a receipt for like $7.30. It was from a book that I got from East LA years ago. Like, what the?
Super chances.
Everything, and they take out taxes on that
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
Yeah, they take
Yeah.
everything out.
But it was $1, and I won $356,000.
That's
crazy. That's
So what did
dollar.
you do with that?
With
money?
that money, $230,000, I bought a house that's almost 5,000 square feet.
Nice.
It's worth almost $1 million.
Nice.
And I bought that in cash. And the rest furniture. And
Yeah.
they took away like the school buses for the kids. They took away everything. So for the first year, I was sitting pretty to there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that happened what year?
2009.
Okay, 2009. So then let's fast forward to the second time. What year?
2015.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
didn't
that
put
was
it on
not
Four
far
years-
away.
4 years
Yeah.
later,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what
6
happened?
years later. 6 years later.
It was gonna be 6.
So
Yeah.
what happened with that one?
Yeah. That one I put in a trust fund for my kids.
So
Nice.
smart. That is
I didn't
smart
touch
as
it.
Yeah.
hell.
I didn't touch it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is so smart right there. You know,
Where'd you
most
buy?
people, yeah,
Where'd
they
you buy
do
that
it.
ticket at?
It
all
was
down the
at
street
a liquor
there.
store.
Up here in the desert?
Yeah, but
Damn, I
Well,
should have went
fast
that
track?
day.
I,
got
over
a
here,
beer.
okay. There are two places in the world that have Joshua trees. Some consider because it's illegal to chop them
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Some
big
of them
time.
consider them to be holy.
Yeah.
So one is in the high desert, in the desert. You know what the second place is that has Joshua trees?
In Israel?
Exactly.
Really?
And some say that under the ground they intertwine. So I don't know, but there's something about, I mean, I know with Mother Teresa, with Sudacha, with the Buddha, with Jesus, they didn't go to Malibu, right? Didn't they go to the desert? I'm thinking
Right.
Victorville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Well,
need
just
you.
like the Mojave
There was
River
Spring Valley
was.
Lake. There's a lake over there.
Yeah.
Hey, I need you to go with me. I need you to go with me, and when I go buy a ticket with me, I need you to
Yes.
go with me.
Yeah.
That
Give me
is
that
so
good
dope,
luck.
man. Yeah, that is so. That is like everybody's dream, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To win the lotto, you won it 2 times.
I won
you
it
know
2
what I'm
times.
saying? Yeah. God, I don't even know where. Like, there's so much places to go with
So
you.
many things.
Yeah, there's so many things because I'm just kind of like, geez, you know. So,
What about the third time?
The turn was little. It was 50 grand.
oh,
That's little.
Still,
compared though, you know what I'm saying?
Compared to everything else, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But even in Vegas, I've never lost in Vegas. I actually trained one of my kids. He wanted to learn. Everything is energy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Every time you think about something, everything is energy. If you want to manifest Lamborghinis, I-8s, lottery, you can't be in the garage. You got to move up levels, and the way you move up levels is you have to let go of things. So you have to let go of maybe drinking, smoking, bad habits, saying bad things,
like
bad
sacrifice?
those. Well, yeah.
Well, good sacrifice.
Hanging around with the bad
It's
people.
give and take.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the energy field you're in. You got to become a magnet.
You don't
Okay?
want to pull that negative in. You want to pull
Yeah.
good people.
When you do good things come to you. Everything is balanced. There's night, there's day, there's yin, there's yang, there's black, there's white. So if you're doing so many good things, I actually have an award from the White House for 65,000 hours, a Lifetime Achievement Award of things, because since I came out on the line, people started doing their homework like you on me. And I'm always volunteering. I'm always in shelters.
Yeah.
The radio that I've been doing, I don't get a penny from it. It's on Christian radio. It's to give and empower people.
That's nice.
Because we perish from the lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
So everything I know, not that I know everything, because the more I know and the more I learn, I figure, man, soy tonta. I don't know nothing. You know, I'm always a student. I always want to learn more.
Yeah.
And so I've always given. So everything is just balanced and it just comes back to you.
I believe
Whatever
in
you
that.
put out there
Yes.
comes back to you 10 times fold.
I believe in that.
You know?
For sure.
Hey, you guys, I think it's time for shots fired.
Let's go. All
right.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Hey.
And remember, when we do shots fired, if you don't drink, you don't got to drink with us.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? It's all good, but you still got to do a shout out. You know what I mean? Nesto bartender over here, you know. Give me the Buchanan. Yeah, buddy.
I'll stick with light.
Oh, you're taking it easy today?
I am.
Oh,
Because
okay.
my birthday party,
All of a sudden.
When was it?
my birthday is actually May 10th,
May 10th. Okay.
Mexican Mother's Day.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Got to take you out.
Thank you, yes.
Vámonos.
Manifest what you're going to do for this weekend, and we'll go out. You know what I'm saying? Manifest
Well,
it first.
Gracie graduates with her master's, my daughter, my
There we
oldest.
go.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
I'll be there with her. So, and then after,
Awesome.
then we'll see what we do. As far as
Yeah.
I'm going to go first. Shots fired. For me, we didn't get a chance to have a Mother's Day episode, so I know Mother's Day kind of passed. You know what I'm
there
saying?
you go. That's good.
But I
Yeah.
still, my shots fired is for all the mothers out there
Yes,
that I
thank
didn't
you.
get a chance to say it publicly, you know what I'm saying? So this is my chance. Shots fired to all my mothers, especially my mother out there. Woo, she, was battling cancer too, and she's doing
wow.
very, very well with it.
Hey, amen.
She's already
good.
back to work. She's hustling already.
Wow.
She's doing her
Awesome.
shit.
That's
you know what I'm
amazing.
saying? So,
Chingona.
yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah, hell yeah. So my shots fired for all the mothers out there. Happy
Hey.
late Mother's Day.
Yeah. Every day's Mother's Day.
Hey, that's
Every
right.
day's Mother's Day.
Preach it.
Laundry does not go away. Dishes are still there without us, man.
That's right.
Every day, baby.
Hey, guys do laundry and wash dishes.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Oh, I trained my sons right.
I put on my Tupac music and I start washing dishes.
That's my guy. Tupac is my guy. That's my baby. My Gemini.
Yeah.
All right, I'm a toast to this one goes for your son.
Thank you.
For serving our country
Jonathan,
and
thank
for
you.
Jonathan for serving our country and doing everything that he did for us. For all those soldiers out there that are dedicating their life for us and protecting the country. This is out for you guys. Thank you.
Hell yeah. That's a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Love
this
it.
shout out goes to all the future that we're going to get into. And I'm going to manifest that too. Remember I was telling you guys where we were going to go? And look where we're at.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rafa. You're going to go with us.
Rafa.
All
And
day.
everybody that's been on this platform as well.
All day. All right, man.
Tauruses,
All right, Minnesota, if you had a shot, you could pretend do a shot. But
Yeah.
what would be your shots fired?
Shout out because there's no coincidence in life. Everything coincides. For a reason, I'm here. So right now, I am going to cleanse all of you guys, and you're going to manifest everything your heart desires.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
That's
Thank you.
This is gonna help cleanse me right now. Just
Yes.
a shot real quick. man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
salute.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So, I got to jump right into that. You have done readings,
Yes.
and you do readings.
I do readings.
Still.
Yes.
So when did that start happening for you?
When I was a little girl, I was probably like 10 months old. I was 10 months old, living in East LA. I remember I was laying in my crib, and I would see 4 men and 4 women on each side of my crib. And I remember I was trying to play with them, and my hand would go through. I believe those were the souls of my 8 kids. And so, since I was little,
At that young age.
at that young age, I remember hiding in closets, hiding under the bed, because I was playing hide and seek with ghosts.
Yeah.
And my mom, the lady that raised me, thought I was crazy. Well, still thinks I'm crazy, but she adores me. And she's known that I've always talked to them. I was always scared of them until I was
gonna
like,
ask that.
until I was like 7 years old. I was laying on my bed, and I heard someone behind me, like behind my bed. And I looked up, and I wasn't scared. And it was a lady with green eyes. I call her Amanda. That's why I named my daughter Brittany Amanda, the panda, because of her. Yeah. And people, then I, for a long time, I grew out of it. And I just ignored it. I would hear things are crashing in my house and nothing's there. I'm here by myself in my apartment. And I just try to close myself from it because it's kind of scary.
Well, yeah,
you know?
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But then people, like someone would do me wrong or an ex or something would happen. And they would call me the next day and say, Mirna, I had a nightmare. And I had a lady with green eyes try to choke me. I woke up with scratches everywhere. Can you stop your brujeria? And I'm like, I'm not a bruja.
Yeah.
I'm not a bruja. And so many things like that, people that would do me wrong, just all these things would happen, all these different dreams that they would have. And I was like, wow, people are like, you're a damn bruja. And it got so bad from that I had to move from LA to the high desert.
Oh, so
I was
that,
gonna
Because people were calling me a bruja.
I was gonna ask you that. You know, why Victorville?
Why
But
Victorville?
Now you tell us.
So, and I had a sister out here from the lady that raised me. She had a little girl who had rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm really good with kids.
Yes.
Because I'm still a kid myself, because I didn't have a childhood.
Yeah.
So I still have that childlike personality. And so I moved out here to take care of her and take her to her therapy and give her prednisone and help her out.
Yeah.
And once out here, I just stood out here. Because the desert has been really, really good to me.
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's such a,
31 years.
oh, really?
I've been out 31 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's so different than like a East LA and all that, you know,
Yeah.
it's so, you know, it's small.
It's different.
Yeah,
It's a
different.
faster pace down there.
A lot of
than up
people
here.
prefer living out here. You know what I mean? For some
Over
reason.
here, we have Cheeto girls. Over there, my
Cheeto
time,
girls.
in my time out there, I look for my kids.
Cheeto girls.
Cheeto girls, you know, las pijamas, the flip flops, Cheeto girl.
That's right.
We didn't have that in East LA. You could be with your cell phone taking the bus, you know, all decked out.
Yeah.
That's
We're
crazy.
very proud. I dress up
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember picking up my kids out here? We had something called the Blue Parrot. We
Oh,
had
yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
the Dollar Theater. Man, how old am I?
Oh,
Dollar
no,
Theater?
the Dollar
Yeah,
movie
the
was
Dollar
popping.
Theater, yeah.
And then we had laser tag. too.
Laser
Laser,
tag.
yeah.
Yeah,
Laser
32
tag.
years.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese was right
Chuck E.
down.
Cheese.
Chuck E.
Exactly.
Cheese was
I don't know
down
if you
there.
were here when down the street used to be called La Luna Pizzeria.
I remember that.
Yeah,
We
right
used
here.
to have that. I tell people, and people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, there was a
we
pizza
had-
place that was called
by
La Luna.
Winchell's
That's what I-
Donuts.
Yeah.
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 You guys
right
remember
here.
Bob Big Boy?
My
Yeah,
mom used to
yeah,
work
Bob
for them.
Big Boy.
Really?
My mom
Yeah.
used to work for them.
Oh
that
yeah,
was a long time.
see, I lived in the high desert my whole life. I never lived nowhere
Oh, you were
else.
born out here?
I was born out here, in Victorville,
Wow.
in this neighborhood right here.
What hospital?
St. Mary's.
Oh, St. Mary's?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my whole family's from here. I have one of the biggest families out here in the high
Yeah,
desert.
yeah, he does.
You think it's like 7 generations?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Big family.
It's crazy. So with the readings, what was your connection with like the celebrities that you linked up with? Like I heard like Madonna,
Yeah.
Beyonce. Is that right?
A lot of celebrities, they don't want the public to know their private life, which of course for many reasons, especially a lot of people that are religious, that they don't understand, that they don't believe in reincarnation. They don't believe that we are spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. They hear talk like that, they think it is bruja. You're a bruja.
Yeah, you're a
And
witch.
so a lot of celebrities, I don't give out their names. I mean, but it's a known fact who I've worked with, you know?
Yeah.
And for example, like Madonna had a child pass away, and the child was special needs. Well, of course, guilt is one of the main reasons people come to me. And I'm known like in the underworld of celebrities to be a medium.
Okay.
So I don't do it publicly.
Yeah.
I do it in a private setting. If I feel you're a little demonic, I don't go to your house.
Yeah.
So
I do not go there.
So you don't promote it, right?
I don't promote it. I don't need to promote it.
People come to you
Like the studio, it's not even promoted, but it's big time.
People come to you because they're somehow connected to you, or
Yeah.
they know somebody
Or
that
they know
knows you.
Exactly.
Well, you're not making
It's
it like a
it's
business.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Get
See,
this,
that's
you guys.
genuine.
Get this, you guys. I don't even charge.
Wow.
I don't even charge. People will give me gifts, ask me if I want something, but never. No, I don't believe when you have it. I believe it's a gift. It's un don.
special
It's
gift.
a gift.
Right.
And God has always taken care of me.
You know, I've been going through this thing lately because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of like professors and scientists, right? See, a lot of them don't believe in God. They don't believe in spirit. They don't believe in souls.
Yeah.
And
Science believers.
seriously, because they're the type of people that like, if you can't physically prove
it?
what
Yeah.
if it's there, then
It's
I
not
don't
real.
believe it.
It's not real.
Yeah, it's not real. That's why they don't believe in religion. They don't believe in nothing. You know what I'm saying?
The people that I surround myself with that because of the business I'm in are people that believe that the world is flat, that we never went to the moon, that the Bible was made, it was man-made. That's why, like the luminary sign, it's always as a woman. So it's because they wanted to demolish and suppress women. So everything was made by man.
So you've
the
dealt with
Bible.
people that in that thought process.
And I will never say that I know everything because I don't. Like I said, the more I learn, the more I realize
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
And
We're always learning.
I'm always
Yeah.
an open book, and I love to learn. Why do we think our parents were right? Why do we think that being a Catholic or being a Christian? I mean, why do we think that that's right? Because that's all we know. Now you're only
Your
looking at a
upbringing.
5-inch screen. Don't we have like bigger TVs now? Have you guys seen the spear that they have? In other words, like be open to learn.
Exactly.
Because
Open-minded.
Be
Yeah.
open-minded.
See,
Because
those people are closed-minded.
Yeah.
They're,
Some
they're,
people-
they're one way.
They're
some
inside the
peop-
box.
Some
Yeah.
people will say, like you say that you're a sinner as a Catholic or a Christian and you're gonna burn in hell. What's gonna burn in hell? You're taking your flesh when you die?
Hell
A soul doesn't burn. So that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
There's a floating God, almighty, all great. This is what people say. But yet he needs your money. It's just everything.
yeah.
Just, you know,
Yeah, I
and
feel
why
you.
did the woman come from the rib? Really, the rib? Why the rib? Why? It's like we're nothing without men? Come on.
right, I feel
Have
you.
you guys learned nothing?
Yeah, I feel you, I feel
In
you.
other words.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's two sides to every pancake. So I like to listen to everything,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, like you say, you're open-minded.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know what I mean?
open-minded.
You got to be open-minded.
have to.
You don't close the door.
But it makes a
on-
lot of sense, though.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
things make
yeah.
a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. You know, that's why like I'm a very open-minded person. So I like to hear all sides.
Yeah.
I'm not dismissive. I'm not like
Yeah.
I'm not like I like to
Yeah.
I like to hear. I like
Yeah.
to learn. Like you said, never stop learning.
Yeah.
Right. That's so important.
Yeah.
Like we got to continue to do that. We got to continue to learn and learn.
Yeah.
You know. So is it possible to give us a reading?
I
Is it?
do it privately. I would not
Yeah.
do it because I'm already talking to your spirits, to your higher being.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of things that you wouldn't want people to know about you
Yeah,
guys.
you're private.
Period. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's respect, though. You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and when there's no alcohol involved.
Yeah.
Alcohol is called spirits for a reason.
reason.
Because you're actually, it's like you're playing the Ouija board, in other words.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
Bad
allowing,
spirits.
No more, no
you're
more shots
allowing-
fired.
You're actually
You're allowing bad spirits to come in.
Exactly. You're an open book. Once you're watching porn, when you're watching porn or watching The Exorcist or La
Uy.
Ouija, right there you told demonic spirits, vente.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Vente,
My mom
come in.
always told me
Come up
that.
here.
Yeah.
My mom always told us growing up.
Yeah.
You watch those kind of movies, that's like you're
That's what
inviting.
you attract.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
you're attracting
Music.
Yeah.
negative spirits.
Yes.
Because
My
the
mom's a Jehovah's
TV
Witness.
is
Your mom is a
open.
very
My
smart
mom's
woman.
a Jehovah's Witness now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
And my mother-in-law is, but they always said, you watch those kind of things, you're attracting that kind of things.
Yeah,
back.
that's true.
I used to go to the assemblies at Dodger Stadium. I
Those
read
big
the
ones?
first, yeah.
Those huge
I
ones.
used to go with Michael Jackson's sister, Rebe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I used to be a Jehovah's Witness.
Really?
I tried to learn. I wanted to find the truth about the world on my own.
Yeah.
So I was a Seventh-day Adventist. I was baptized as a Catholic. I went into Christianity, and then I started going to the Kingdom Hall in East
Yeah.
LA. And I've never, to this day, I have not found anyone to fill that hole in my heart.
The void.
Until I started doing shadow work, and I started working on myself. Everything is within us. If we're made, that's one thing I believe, we're made in the image of God. Why do we need a third party to communicate to our higher self, to creation? I believe all of us are gods. All of us make one. That's why not two of us have the same fingerprint. So you're a God, you're a God, and you're a God. That's why the words I am are very powerful. So there's different ways of looking at things.
Yeah.
There's not just one way to heaven. And who knows, maybe we're here in heaven already. Because I believe we are side by side with other dimensions.
Yeah.
There's no physical place where you're going to go and burn forever because
Yeah.
you have a bad thought.
Yeah, because like you said, like this could be heaven right now. You know what I mean? Like we're having a good time. We're vibing. You know, like you just never know. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, like what you said, like what your mom said. My dad used to say the similar thing. He used to say, what was it? An idle mind is a devil's playground, or something like that.
Yeah. That's
And
insane.
he used to say that to me all the time when I was young, because I was mischievous, man. When I was a kid, I used to get into Everything. Like whatever that I wasn't supposed to do, that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
And then that was
everything,
yeah.
everything they told you don't do, that's the first
That's
thing
the
we're
first thing
doing.
I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And my dad told me that one time. He goes, I don't mind is a devil's playground. And I was like,
And then that was dime con quién andas y te digo quién eres.
Yeah.
Tell me who you're around and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah. That's why it's really important to keep yourself around with good people and not bad association.
Yeah.
Right.
People don't understand that. I tell people, if you're in your living room, say we're here right now, and someone kicks a door down and they start putting trash in here. First of all, Rafa's gonna go over there and kick their ass. Of course, I mean, I got your back, baby. Are you gonna allow that, or are we gonna get up, kick them out, throw the trash out, and lock the door?
Of course.
Why do we allow toxic people? If you have someone that's saying, mira nomás, esta comadre y este fulano de tal y chingo,
Puro chisme.
you don't think they're talking about you?
Of course. They are.
When someone comes to me and starts talking bad about her, I say, first of all, very respectfully, I'm going to stop you right there. Unless that person you're talking about is in the room, I don't want to hear it. And I stop it. If they start crying because you're picking that up. You're bringing all that negativity subconsciously is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Remember when you guys learn how to drive, when you first learn how to drive, you're looking at the mirror, you're looking at everything, and then 5 years later, you're like nothing, you're on the phone, you're
Right.
Chilling,
you're
you're cruising.
guy, you're all thinking
That's Queen G. That's Queen G.
Yeah.
That's Queen G. She's driving. She's like,
Me and Ernesto in the backseat, holding on dear life.
I'm like this. My uñas are in the seat.
I'll take the back away. It'll cut us 30 minutes.
Hey, I don't like cats, but I was a cat that day. I was like,
We were like in the backseat like this.
I was like,
And that's because your body already got used, your subconscious mind already got programmed.
yeah. You get relaxed.
You get too relaxed, yeah.
Yeah, like
So
people
gotta
say,
be-
you get comfortable.
You get
too
comfortable. Yeah. So without you knowing it, your subconscious mind is picking up on the negativity of that chismoso,
somebody else.
that chismoso, that toxic person, that music, that Ouija board, that TV show, that movie. You got to be very careful
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
feeding
Yeah.
your subconscious mind, your
Yeah,
soul.
I believe in that for real. I really
Yeah.
do. Energy, man. Whatever energy's around.
There's nothing but energy. I live my life through the theory of Tesla. So that's how you learn how to manifest things.
Tesla?
Everything.
Tesla the car?
Yeah, Tesla. The
Wow.
man.
Yeah.
Nicholas
Yeah.
Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just a higher thing of thinking. I believe, I do astral traveling. So when you go to, I was telling this to my girlfriend earlier. When you go to sleep, when you don't see the sun, does it go to sleep? Does it dim? It stays on. All of us are electric beings.
Yeah.
It's all energy.
Yeah.
When you go to sleep, your energy doesn't come out your soul and wait around and look at you. When are you going to get out? Come on, Mirna, get your ass up already. No. What it does, it goes out. And sometimes when you wake up too fast, you think, I just had an out-of-body experience. Every night you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, you guys, that's the closest time you are close to death.
To death, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can control, if
Sleep
you can
is
go
the cousin of
and-
death.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you can lay down, what I do, I lay down and I actually get out of my body, look at myself, sometimes cover myself, and I could go to different dimensions. If you're not drinking, if you're not watching bad things, that means you could go into a higher level, and through practice you can do it. You could even go on YouTube. You say you like YouTube. Go on YouTube when you go to sleep and put guide to meditation, guide to astral traveling.
Okay.
And it takes time, but all of it have it. We all, if you're a human being, it's already instilled in your subconscious mind into your soul. And you're able to go visit your grandma that passed away, your son, your daughter, your
Yeah.
grandma.
That's trippy.
It is.
I just don't wanna get stuck
it's
in that
astral
dimension,
traveling.
though.
Excuse me?
What if you get stuck in that dimension?
No, you don't.
You don't?
You're-
Okay.
Only if you're dead. You're on the other side.
Okay.
No.
No, you're good.
No.
No,
You're good.
no, for real.
You're safe.
What,
You're
the
safe.
things that we stop ourselves from
It's a round trip,
success.
Queen G. It's a round trip.
Fear, yeah, fear,
Free. It's
Fear
no
is your
charge.
worst enemy.
Yeah.
When you fear, this is why some of the richest people are the dumbest people, because they don't think about it twice. They just go do it.
Yeah, I
they
hear-
take that
yeah.
chance. So don't let fear stop you. Got to work on that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hear
I
that.
do.
If you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
if you're thinking about it too long, you're already messing up. You're
Yeah.
fearing. I mean,
You
you're scared. You're overthinking.
Everything, like I said earlier, everything exists in our minds, between our ears. So the more you think about it, the more you're gonna. That's why you got to learn how to relax.
That's the more you
You gotta-
hesitate.
yes.
So
Yeah.
you
When you overthink, you
You
kill it.
overthink. That's what I'm talking about. Why? When we're driving, and she's driving and she looks over and she wants to turn the signal, I said, if you're gonna turn, if you're gonna switch lanes, just switch lanes. Don't overthink it.
Don't second guess
Yeah,
it.
you're second guessing yourself. Like if you know you can switch lanes. Why you sitting there hesitating? I said, you're going to get in a car accident.
She gets nervous.
What about that?
Because you're overthinking.
What about that feeling that you get like your gut, when your gut tells you something?
Intuition.
I really feel like that's something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've all experienced that.
feelings?
Like, what is your gut
intuition.
telling you?
Okay.
Usually that first feeling, like, what do you, is that?
Your soul sits right under your chest. So right there on top of your belly button. Haven't you ever did something bad when you're a little kid and you have that pit in your stomach? That's your soul, that's your heart, that's your everything. Liz, that's your intuition. You always say like, man, I knew it. Something told me that I should have made a right, and here I got pulled over. What? You know, listen to yourself.
Ooh, I knew I shouldn't eat those
Always-
tacos last night.
Your gut was telling you.
Yes, I
Your
had a
gut
pain.
was telling you to lay off the tacos, dog.
I knew it. Taco Mexico, you were no good.
Man, those tripas tacos, dog. Your gut's telling you can't do those no more.
We had dinner last night. Thanks to Taco Mexico, you know.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah. So like I said in the beginning, you're such a hustler. You do so many things. You're in films. You're behind the scenes. You're radio hosting. If you had to pick one, what would you want? What would you like to prefer to do? One single thing.
Be a mom.
I'm sure you like to do
Be
it
a
all.
mom.
Hey, there
A
you
stay-at-home
go.
mom. Just be a mom.
Hey, that's
There's nothing better than my blessings. I mean,
Great
to see a
answer.
bunch of little me's running around, man.
right. Yeah. I feel it. I
See their
feel it.
success.
I love it. I love it. That's why I homeschool my little one. I homeschool some of my kids.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm so proud of them because when I was little, I said to myself, my goal in life at the time was to get married, to have a lot of kids, and show both sets of my parents what it is to be a great parent.
Yeah.
And so that's all I ever thought about for years. That's why I never dated. I just wanted to get married. I got
So
married.
you wanted to be the parent that your parents weren't.
Never were. Yeah.
And like I said,
Not
your
my
pre-
adopted parents or my real parents.
And your
So
presence.
that was my goal.
Your presence there with your kids, like you can't beat that. Like just your presence alone around your kids. I could relate to that. I recently, because I have a job, but I went on like a 6-month leave from my job because my dad passed away from cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
And my mom.
That's the soul that's with you right now.
Yes.
That's the one coming through.
Yeah. So we found out that they had cancer the same day. My mom and my dad.
Wow.
2 different hospitals. Literally the same day. My sister was with my mom, and I was with my dad. And then we found out they both had cancer, right? He didn't make it, fortunately, rest in peace. Yeah. But so I took some time off, right? Just to kind of get things together. It was a lot going on.
Yeah.
So within that 6 months, I was just with my kids all the day. Yeah. That was the best thing I have ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Like just me being there with them. Waking up, getting them dressed for school, taking them to school, picking them up from school, helping them with their homework, taking them to sports, like cooking for them. Like it was the best thing I have ever done.
The best things in the world are things that you can't buy.
Yeah.
It's not about
Exactly.
don't make your dreams as I'm gonna start living my life when I win the lottery, when I become famous, when I lose 20, 30 pounds, when I get that right guy, that right girl, that right car.
Yeah.
It's like who knows if we have tomorrow?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All we have is now, and there's a book called The Power of Now, which I recommend for you guys. I forgot who's the writer, but you have to learn like right now, like feel the couch that we're on, look at this microphone, like right now that we're here.
The moment.
I mean, look at this poor little girl, Valeria, in Jalisco, Mexico, how they just came and just killed her.
Yeah.
Look at the case with Cassandra, was to see with P. Diddy and all the things going on that's been going on behind closed doors.
Crazy,
Like
man.
right now, we should just appreciate, have the attitude of gratitude. That's one thing, to call upon manifesting money, riches, fame, whatever you want, the child, that man or that girl, you have to actually appreciate the little things you have right now. The little things. That's where it starts. Everything starts with the seed.
Gotta be humble.
Yeah, don't be, when I'll give my money to the poor when I win the lottery. Dude, I gave when I didn't have.
Exactly.
I said I had negative dollar in the bank when I won the lottery.
Yeah.
And I was always at the shelters. I will call the shelter in Victorville, the women's shelter and the homeless shelter, and I would say, what do you guys need? Well, they don't need clothes because everyone gives them. They needed milk. They needed Pampers. I will go buy Pampers for my kids, take half of them, put them out, and then take the other half. And I had one with mental retardation, one that had autism. I had a 6, a 5, and a newborn in Pamper. So I needed Pampers.
Yeah.
But I would stretch it out, man. They were potty trained so early for babies. They're potty crawling, every potty trained.
Hey, you sacrifice.
That when it hurts you, there's a story in the Bible that says that Jesus was trying to get money to build a church. And all these people are like, oh, look at the kings. Look how much I'm giving, how much I'm giving. And this little old lady comes and she gives like, for example, 2 cents. And she was all embarrassed. And then Jesus went and got it. Look what she gave. And they're like, what? She gave 2 cents. Yeah, the thing is that she can't afford to give that. She gave everything she had. So when it hurts you, when you see someone in the corner, don't pass judgment because we're not gods. And they say, oh, he's going to go get high. He's going to do drugs. If the first thing, your gut feeling was to go give them the dollar, go give them a water, go give them food, do it.
Yeah.
And that's what your intuition, which is very smart for you to say that. It's intuition.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I love that answer you said, like, oh, like being a mom to my kids, because you do a lot of like extraordinary things. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as
Doesn't
like,
mean anything.
Yeah, that's
mean
right there.
anything.
That's real.
Just things to do.
That is so
Just
genuine.
things to
That is
do.
so real. Those are the kind of messages that we really wanted to put on this show. Like, 'cause we could talk about the glamour all day. You know what I mean? I grew up in
It's
the
all
entertainment.
smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, I grew up in the entertainment industry. My dad was a musician my whole life. He would travel all over the world. He played with Tiara and Santana. And he was, so I grew up around this. I
have Tara in one of my episodes. They're so sweet.
Oh, yeah, good
Yeah.
people, And one thing,
The Salas brothers.
oh, yeah. Yeah, but he was never satisfied with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He always wanted more. He needed more. It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, well, your family, though,
Yeah.
like, that's more than enough.
Your dad had a bad upbringing.
He did.
And so he never got over his childhood, his traumas. That's why it's very important when I work with people, I go back to when you were a little kid and I actually heal you. That's the most important thing. You wonder why you're watching so much porn, why you're drinking so much, why you're smoking, why you're with different women, why being married and having children doesn't satisfy you. It's because you have healing to do.
Right. And
You know?
he did have a tough upbringing.
Yeah.
He had a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
So it all made sense too, But that's why I love that answer you gave. I was like, oh, I like that. You know what I mean? 'Cause
But you
that's
got to
what
keep it real.
Yeah, you got to keep it real, and genuine, on what's really important. So, yeah, oh my God. I feel like you have so much that we could talk about. But one thing we always say all the time is like, whenever you come on this show, it's not a one and done.
No.
We want our guests to be repeated guests to come. And
would
just a
love
place
that.
where they could come and just talk and vent or whatever, speak their mind or whatever it is they got going on. So we would definitely love to have you back on the show.
Yes, definitely.
And
I
we
would
can
love to,
continue.
and
Yes,
I've never done a live reading, and I would love to do it for the first time on your show.
Oh, that'd be great, man. We would love that. So what is up next for you that we could, your followers and your fans and your support system, what can we be looking forward to Mirna Velasco?
I'm actually very proud. A lot of people think that only Black women wear hair pieces. I'm launching my own hairline because
Okay.
I've always worn hair. Since
Awesome.
my daughter had cancer, she lost her eyebrows, her eyelashes, and all her hair. And all my daughters had hair down to their waist. And so when we would go to Loma Linda to go visit her through her chemo, I felt really bad. So I chopped my hair off for my daughter. I got scissors and I just chopped it off. My hair didn't grow as much because I used to have long hair too. So you could buy it. My daughter's alive. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So now that I've been wearing hair pieces for so many years, people are like, wait a minute, hairdressers, that's not your hair? Wow. So I'm launching my own company. Actually, I told you what was going on earlier with me. After I get that procedure done through the doctors, I'm going to go back on set and I got to go into Sony Studios with my partner and we're going to go through, I have to approve the 4 episodes we already filmed and then it'll go on air.
Man, I'm
So
looking forward to
that's
it.
going to be
Yes.
awesome.
We are looking forward to it. You have support right here.
Yes.
Thank you.
For sure. So whatever
Thank
you
you.
got going on, we got you, man. If you ever
Thank
need
you.
anything, we're here. And thank you so much for coming. Like
Thank you.
we've been wanting to have you for a long
Forever.
time.
And we met at my
Yeah.
nephew's at Nationwide, right? We met at the concert.
Yeah, we met there, and then we met
June
at
28th
and then we
next
met
month.
and then we met
Yes.
up again at Justified's Money
The
Mondays.
Queen, Monday Mondays. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Monday
we're chopping
Mondays.
it up there, and I knew it was good vibes, and I was like, we got to get her on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
You know
for
what I
all for all the new followers, where can they find you?
They could find me at Mirna, Mirna.Velasco on Instagram. On Facebook, I'm Judy Velasco.
Okay, cool.
All right,
cool.
you guys heard it.
You
guys
gotta,
heard
you
it.
gotta
So-
put it on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Now, but
Awesome.
thank you again, man. Let's make some noise
Thank
for
you so
Mirna.
much.
That's how we start off a new season.
That's
guys.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Season
Woo,
Started out with the
that's right,
bang.
man.
Started out with the
One.
bang.
How are we gonna top that? You know? No. But thank you again so
Thank
much.
you
But
so
yeah,
much.
man, we love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in with us that whole first season. This is just a little taste of what we're gonna have going on for the next season. And yeah, so remember, Urban Soap TV. We're on YouTube. We are on Fire Stick TV. We're on
Apple TV.
Apple TV. Shout out to our boy Rafa.
Rafa
you know what I'm
Studios.
saying?
Hey,
But yeah, man. But thank you guys again, yo. Peace.
Peace.